I have a question for you. So, if going into Minneapolis was all about getting those gosh darn illegal immigrants, all those criminals off the streets, then why is Pam Bondi giving Tim Walz an ultimatum? Give us your voter registration rolls and we'll leave. It was the same ultimatum that they did before they invaded. He didn't comply, they invaded. Now she's saying, give us the voter registration rolls and we'll leave. So, was it really about the immigrants? I mean, even by their own statistics, majority of the people that they rounded up aren't even criminals. But they have you believing that they are. Every single one of them were. No. By their own statistics, no. But you won't look at it. And that's what they rely on. They rely that you're not going to fact check them, that you're just going to believe what they say. And this is the whole issue. This is why Trump loves the poorly uneducated. And I don't mean that as a slight. They've been indoctrinating you against education for a very long time for a reason. Because at the beginning of this country, there was the rich and the poor, and that was it. And only the rich can get educated while the poor worked. And there was a reason for that. Can't manipulate an educated person. They know that. So they fearmonger you. And that's exactly what they did with Minneapolis. See, they told you it was all about getting all those criminals. Meanwhile, a lot of them are American citizens that they have rounded up. Majority of them that are actually immigrants don't even have a criminal record, not even a parking ticket. Now, what they also won't tell you is immigrants pay billions of dollars into our tax system, right? They can't take it back out. They can't get Social Security. But they have you believing, oh my God, that they are pulling out all this health care. They're not. Meanwhile, they're paying into it for us because we benefit from their money. Okay? What do you think these tariffs are about? They have you believing that other countries are paying these tariffs when actually 96% of the tariffs, the Americans are paying. So they're rounding up all these immigrants. We're losing that tax money. So who's paying for that? We are. You see, because the more he tariffs, the more in taxes we technically pay. Therefore, subsidizing what we're losing, that way they can still continue to fund the rich, not the poor. You see, because they have you believe in that funding SNAP is such a bad thing, but giving $178 billion to DHS is such a great thing, right? So we can't feed our children, but we can go out there and fund vigilantes who are unaliving American citizens, and they have you okay with it. Because all they have to do is give you a small little narrative. Even though that the videos prove these things otherwise, you're still going to believe what they say, not what you see. And that's what they depend on. So again, going into such a small sanctuary city, comparison to all the other ones, was it really about the immigrants? Or was it just about voter suppression? Because them getting their hands on that voter registration rolls will tell them the party affiliations of each person there and who to suppress. So don't tell me that this was all about getting those criminals off the streets when the criminals are on the streets unaliving American citizens while you sit there and cheer and ICE agents clap or fucking bitch, They have no remorse for what they're doing. So they knew exactly what it is that they're doing. But this was never, ever about getting those criminals off the street, especially since you elected one into the president. But it was never about getting the criminals off the street. It was just about voter suppression. And guess what? You get to pick up the tab for the people that they have in detention that can't work, can't pay into taxes. You get to pay for that. But you don't mind, right? You just mind feeding children that are hungry.